What's good? What's good? Peace, peace. What's going on, people? What's up? What's up? This your boy Elevated Ace, and I'm here to pass down knowledge of the information that I resonate with to help those that seek spiritual enlightenment. All right, let's go. Let's get straight to it. All right, this is a part of my astrological series. This is going to be dealing with the North and South Node, okay? The North and South Node, or the South and North Node. Either which way, you know what I'm saying, you want to put it. Now, basically, dealing with the North Node and the South Node. Let me just give a disclaimer here real quick. I wanted to speak about basically dealing with your birth chart, okay? In order to have an accurate birth chart, a very accurate reading on the energies that took place when you were born, right? Your astrological makeup, in order to have an accurate transition time, you know what I'm saying? You have to have an accurate birth time. So make sure you're getting a birth chart, okay? You can order one online, you know what I'm saying? Get you a birth chart done. This is a vital record certificate. I had to pay about $40-something for this right here, but it has my actual birth hour. It has my doctor who birthed me, you know, birthplace and everything like that. But it has my birth time. I was born at 10:45 a.m. That helps give a more detailed description of your personality, a more detailed description of your astrological makeup. You know, when you can start pinpointing fixed stars and pretty much fixed star locations in your chart, so you can pretty much pinpoint that to a T. So make sure that you're getting your birth chart. When you get your birth chart done, make sure that you have your time of birth as well. That helps a lot, you know. So with that being said, now we're gonna leave off now with South and North Node. Okay. Before, the last thing I touched on, I believe, was dealing with the planetary influences. This one here is going to be based on your South and North Node, okay? Now, your North Node is your spiritual path. And this is in astrology, okay? Your North Node is going to be your spiritual path. So your North Node is where you're going. The South Node is where you came from, also known as Rahu and Ketu. Okay, it's basically the moon. You know, you got the dark moon and you got the moon, right? The dark moon is basically Lilith. You can call her Lilith, or, you know, it's the path of the moon. So it's the moon where it was when you were born, and the moon where it's going and where it's predicted to go, I guess. So that's North Node, South Node, Rahu and Ketu. Okay, your North Node is your spiritual path. Your North Node is where your spirit wants to go as far as for spiritual growth. Because remember, I was telling y'all the spirit ain't no thing. But experience broadens your horizon. It makes your space bigger to where your spirit is able to travel to a lot more different locations. You know, it's not confined to a certain location as if somebody that lived their life without having much experiences. The more experiences that you have, the broaden your spaces to allow your spirit to be able to travel more, basically. So the North Node is basically where your spirit wants to go. The South Node is where your spirit came from. So when you was born into this world, the universe took a snapshot of where all the planets was located at. And being where all the planets was located at, that tells us a story about you, about all the planetary influences that make you up as a physical spirit, okay? As a soul, which is an individual spirit, okay? So the South Node, right, is pretty much where you came from. It's what you're comfortable with. So you came into this world. You was born into this world, right? And you in your past life, basically, you were coming from an energy. And as you coming into this world, this dimension right here, you came in here through your South Node, right? And your South Node is basically all the things that you're familiar with. So, you know, when you're living your life and you start to realize that you got all these talents and gifts and stuff, and you're able to, you know, do things at ease that might take somebody, you know what I'm saying, years to learn and to understand. These are some things that you might have had, gifts that you had in your past life, which is your south node. So you're comfortable with your south node. But what makes things uncomfortable, and as far as for your spiritual growth, is to go take the path that's uncomfortable to you, because the spiritual path is the unknown path. This is the path that your spirit wants to go to experience so it can broaden its horizons with new experiences. New experiences bring, you know, bring more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding. So it expands your bubble. It expands your space and allows more travel for your spirit. So the north node, Ketu, is pretty much where your spirit wants to go. So your spirit created this vessel for itself to have a astro travel through this dimension, to sustain itself through this astro travel through this dimension right here. So the spirit created the body for itself to have an astro travel, to have an experience. So you pretty much were created here in this dimension, in this world right here, to pretty much, you know, lead off for your spiritual enlightenment towards the north node. So you coming in your south node and you're going towards your north node. Your north node is where your spiritual enlightenment is. That's the path. That's the opposite path, right? So my south node is in Capricorn. My north node is in Cancer. So pretty much I came into this world already knowing, you know, and already had this this astrological influence about me from my past life, which was a which was a Capricorn. So I've dealt with a lot of Capricorn energies, and I'm comfortable with Capricorn energies. But the one thing that makes me feel a little uncomfortable is my north node, because those are energies that I'm not familiar with. So if my south node is Capricorn, then my north node is going to be direct opposite of what your south node is. So my north node being Capricorn, my south node being Capricorn, my north node is in Cancer. So if I want to broaden my spiritual horizons, right, then basically I would conduct myself and put myself in situations dealing with Cancer energies, you know, Cancer-like energies, because my moon is Cancer. If my moon is Cancer now, which is my north node, then my south node had to be Capricorn, which was my moon in my past life, which was my moon before. Okay, so yeah, that's dealing with the north node and the south node. The north node, south node, Rahu Ketu. The south node is what you're familiar with, where you came from, which is your past. The north node is where you want to go, is your future, is the enlightenment. And it makes a lot of people uncomfortable going towards their spiritual path because it's unknown to them. So anytime you're walking in a path that's not familiar to you, that you're not used to doing, anytime you drift off to something that, you know, you have a pattern of doing that you're familiar with doing, you know, you get a little scared. Fear starts to kick in a little bit because you don't really have true knowledge of what that path is for you, ahead of you. You understand? So you just basically have to hit it head on, you know, and not be scared or not fear anything. And this is all for your spiritual enlightenment. So, you know, people fear what they don't understand, hate what they can't conquer. That's that Nas. So yeah, your north node is where you want to go. All right, your north node is your spiritual path. Your south node is where you came from. So your south node is the past, north node is your future. And your north and south node is always opposite of each other, okay? So, yeah, that's basically touching up on the south and north node, your spiritual path, all right? On the next video, I think I'm going to touch a little bit more on the aspects, all right? Aspects, alignments, so pretty much like the angles, you know, on how the planets angle and how they affect you from the angling, like, you know, we're going to touch a little bit on that on the next video. So, yeah, this is south node, north node, all right? Rahu Ketu. Your boy Elevated Ace. I'm out. Peace.